Hey everybody, it's Jeff from New York and welcome to another edition of the New York Play and Vacay News Show. This is for week ending October 23rd, 2022. I hope you're enjoying these news shows, and if you are, leave a comment below. If you're not, well, you can also leave a comment below and make suggestions as far as what I can do to improve them. But I'm having a good time doing them, and from the comments I'm seeing, you guys are having a fun time watching them, so that's very cool. One of the things I noticed about the shows, the past two shows that I've done, is they're running a little bit longer than I'd like. I think they're running somewhere around 25, 30, 35 minutes, and that's a little too long. I'd like to keep them somewhere around 15, 20 minutes, so I'm going to work on that, and working on that, I'm going to get right to the news stories. So sit back, enjoy some news from Las Vegas, Atlantic City, and some cruise news as well. Let's get started right now, shall we? First story out of Las Vegas is about the Venetian and the Palazzo. The new owners, Apollo Management Corporation, is planning on spending at least $1 billion on improving and expanding the property, a property that is already huge, built in 1999. The property includes the Venetian, the Palazzo, a personal favorite of mine. It also includes the Sands Exposition, or Sands Expo, which has been renamed Venetian Expo now that the Sands no longer owns the property. Now, as I said, Apollo wants to spend north of $1 billion, and that money's going to, they say, is going to touch every aspect of the customer experience. It's certainly the largest investment ever made by a property in Las Vegas. Some of the improvements already being considered are a brand new pool deck and a 50,000 square foot Tao Day Club added to the pool area. Several new restaurants are planned, including some Michelin star restaurants, including pyrotechnics in these restaurants. Crazy. Now, as most of you know, the Venetian and Palazzo have an Italian theme, and Apollo doesn't want to change that theme at all. They said they're going to keep that theme until the buildings are torn down, which they don't see happening in the near future. But they do want to update the theme. They said the hotels were built in the 1990s, some of the oldest properties on the Las Vegas Strip, and even Italy has changed a lot since the 1990s. So they want to update the theme in the sense that the changes, the new modern things that have been added to Italy, they want to add to the Venetian, but they're not getting rid of that Italian theming. And they said that they want to make sure that this isn't one of those big renovations on the Las Vegas Strip, which simply means a room refreshing. They are doing this from the bottom to the top. They're also looking at entertainment as far as getting A-listers back into the Venetian and Palazzo. As a matter of fact, this November, Lin-Manuel Miranda, the creator of Hamilton here on Broadway in New York, is opening his show Freestyle Love Supreme at the Venetian, and that's coming this November. And also, don't forget, lots going on in that sphere, the Madison Square Garden sphere right behind, which is owned obviously by the Venetian and Palazzo, part of that Venetian Expo area. That plans on being open about a year from now, next November, and that's when the Formula One race is as well. So lots going on in that area of the Las Vegas Strip. Palazzo, Venetian, spending lots of money on updating stuff. Now, in another story, when you walk down the Las Vegas Strip or in the hotels and casinos, you can't help notice all of the lounges, the bars, the cocktail areas, in the casino, in the restaurants. Those places certainly put the sin in Sin City, with the beer, wine, cocktails, anything you can imagine. But you know what? In Las Vegas, there's always room for something new. Now, when you think about it, I mean, what hasn't been done already on the Las Vegas Strip? They pretty much thought of everything. There's always room for something new, but it takes pretty good creativity. But when all else fails in Las Vegas, the best thing to do is go big, or go bigger than everyone else. And that's exactly what BrewDog wants to do. It's a rooftop beer house that's opening up on the Las Vegas Strip shortly. Now, there are some breweries already on the Las Vegas Strip, but none of them are as big as BrewDog plans on going. None of them are on a rooftop, and none of them are going to have these views. BrewDog is going to be on the rooftop. It's going to be 30,000 square feet on the rooftop of the Showcase Mall, which is just north of the MGM Grand and right across the street from the Park MGM. Now, when I say BrewDog is going to be on a rooftop, don't be thinking 30, 40, 50 stories high up. No, it's going to be on the 4th floor. That's right, the 4th floor. But don't be disappointed yet. Fourth floor is pretty good, especially on the Las Vegas Strip. This sign, this BrewDog sign, which I think you can see, hopefully I put something up there for you to look at. I think you can see it's going to be a huge sign. It's going to be a standout on the Las Vegas Strip. And on the fourth floor, you're actually going to be part of the Las Vegas Strip experience with the sights and sounds of the Strip. When you're on the 40, 50, 60th floor, you're pretty much removed from all that. This is going to be very immersive as far as being part of the Las Vegas Strip. BrewDog plans on having 96 beers on tap. That's just 3 shy of 99 taps of beer on the wall. That sounds like a song, doesn't it? And they're also going to have an on-site brewery as well. Bally's, soon to be Horseshoe, a Caesars property, has finally opened that arcade. The arcade is where the old sports book, the old Bally sports book used to be, by their little fast food area with Nathan's and stuff. Completely redone, just reopened. They have 80 super-sized arcade games. These aren't your pinballs and things like that. These are huge arcade games. There's going to be 80 of them. I'm going to be in the city in about 2 weeks, and I'm definitely going to be in that arcade. It's going to be one of my first stops, as a matter of fact, and I'll bring you what that arcade looks like. The arcade is completely cashless. You get a card, like a credit card, and they load it up with either money from your credit card or cash, whatever you want to give them, and your points are on that card. You put the card into a machine, just like a slot machine, basically. It'll work in any machine. If you win anything, the points will be accumulated on that card. No more tickets, no more cash, no more of that fun stuff. And when you're done for the day, you can go to the little prize area and show them your card. They'll let you know what you're entitled to. Now, right across from the arcade is the food court at Bally's or Horseshoe. There's a Nathan's there. I think there might be not White Castle. There's a Sbarro. There's a whole bunch of places. I'm sure it's on one of my videos. And that's what makes the location, as far as I'm concerned, perfect for an arcade or a family experience. You've got inexpensive, decent food right next to the arcade. And the arcade is also going to be opening up a bar inside the arcade for beer, cocktails, and wine. That's not open yet, but they say it's going to be opening in a couple of weeks, so maybe it'll be open by the time I get to Vegas in 2 or 3 weeks. Also, not only do you have the arcade and the food court right next to each other, but the monorail station is right there as well. So great place if you're in another hotel or casino on the Strip and you want to go to this arcade, spend a couple hours, have a quick bite at the fast food place. Just hop on the monorail. It's going to take you basically right to the arcade. 2 more notes. They're calling those cards that I spoke to you about that they load with points Fun E cards. Get an E as in electronic, Fun E cards. And the bar that they're going to be opening shortly will have poker machines on top as well. So there's something for everyone that's going to be there. Now, the city of Las Vegas is a very innovative city. I don't think anyone can deny that. When you have these big corporations with big bucks, anything can happen, right? Well, the very first punk rock museum in the world is going to be opening up in Las Vegas January 13th. This is the first museum made specifically and exhibits geared towards the subgenre of punk rock, the crowd surfing, loogie hawking, safety pin wearing crowd. As the punk rock website says, they're going to shove in your face the history, culture, and just plain old absurdity of rock and roll's bastard stepchild. Now, the museum is currently selling packages before it opens for $25,000. Now, I know that's a lot of money, but for $25,000, you can get a laminated lanyard that you can hang on your neck that says you donated $25,000. They'll also hang a plaque above either a urinal or inside a bathroom stall, depending upon, I guess, the men's room or the ladies' room, that says you donated $25,000. And they'll also name a drink at the bar after you. Now, if you're a little short on cash and you can't afford the $25,000 package, you can go all the way down to the $100 package, which I believe includes the lanyard, the laminated lanyard. You get 2 free tickets. You also get according to them, an ill-fitting t-shirt, as well as 2 warm beers at the bar. Now, there is no option on their website for general admission, so what it looks like right now those are your 2 options, $25,000 or $100. Again, there may be general admission, but there are no options listed on the website currently. Punk Rock Museum will have over thousands of relics in the 12,000 square foot space, which is pretty large. It's funny, growing up in the 70s and 80s, I thought punk rock was so out there, but now it's pretty much mainstream. You don't hear it that much anymore, but you hear the influence punk has had on music these days. And I had 4 favorite bands. I don't know about you guys. You can leave a comment below if you have a favorite punk rock band. I had 4, 2 from England, 2 from the States, or actually New York City, which I guess is where punk started in America. But in England, it was, of course, the Sex Pistols and the Clash. And in the United States, or in New York City, the Ramones, my personal favorite, from Queens, New York, as well as the New York Dolls. A lot of people haven't heard of the New York Dolls. As far as I'm concerned, they really started the whole trend here in the country. If you're a fan of rock and roll, you've definitely heard of the New York Dolls. If not, well, then you probably haven't. They didn't have any big hits or anything, but definitely a huge influence on punk rock. Finally, the last story from Las Vegas this week is downtown Las Vegas. A Hawaiian woman who typically stays at the California Hotel and Casino right off of Fremont Street decided this year to stay at the Fremont Hotel and Casino on Fremont Street. Now, this woman from Hawaii who wishes to remain anonymous, but there's pictures of her everywhere on the internet, so I don't know how anonymous she can remain. She spent $100. She put $100 in the machine, something I typically do. She bet $15 on her first spin. She won $790,000. That never happens to me, obviously. If I won $70 on my first spin, I'd be happy. But I'd probably lose it anyway. You guys know me. But first spin, $100 into the machine, $15 bet. First spin, $790,000. But that, folks, isn't the end of the story. Let's forget the fact that she thought she won $79,000, but the casino staff, informed her, no, it's not $79,000, it's $790,000. Let's forget the fact that she didn't even realize how much she won, but while she was waiting for the paperwork to be done, she played a machine right next to it and won over $5,000 as well. Now again, she wanted to remain anonymous, but there's certain things you can just tell about this woman. Number 1, she likes to travel. Number 2, she just won almost $750,000, or a little over $750,000. Number 3, she lives in Hawaii. What they didn't say was if she was married. That's something I would definitely want to find out. I could just see it now. Hey everybody, it's Jeff from Oahu. Okay, heading on over to Atlantic City, Nobu at Caesars, the brand new restaurant, which has yet to open, doesn't plan on opening until the spring of 2023, so we're going to say like half a year from now. But they've already started to take reservations via Open Table. Now, I'm just going to read a sentence from this news article because they said it very well, and I don't think I can improve on this. It says the iconic restaurant will serve as the first of its kind in the Atlantic City market, offering a multi-sensory journey transporting guests to a chic and glamorous setting overlooking the beautiful beach and the Atlantic Ocean. Now, who wouldn't want to go there? Not only is the restaurant opening spring of 2023, but the hotel within a hotel, or the boutique hotel within a hotel, if you will be opening at the same time, spring of 2023. And again, directly from the news article, guests can dine at the bar and explore Nobu's extensive array of whiskey and its signature brands of sake and wine. The chef's signature dishes like black cod miso, rock shrimp tempura, yellowtail jalapeno, and classics such as toro tartare with caviar, cup sushi, and Nobu crispy rice are just a few of the dishes that are going to be offered. Want more information? Visit the website, Caesars.com. New from Resorts Hotel and Casino, actually I have 2 items here on Resorts Hotel and Casino. One is Bar Bingo with a musical twist. This is held every Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. It's at Bar 1. It's like a regular bingo game, only you also have to answer musical trivia questions. Now this sounds like something I could become an expert at. I like bingo. I played a little on the cruise ship, which that video is coming shortly, but not only that, but I consider myself pretty good at music trivia, so I'm going to plan on visiting this in the next week or 2. I will definitely bring you guys the video of Bar Bingo with a musical twist from Resorts. And also from Resorts, we have Frank Sinatra's Birthday Bash. Now, Resorts is also celebrating 40 years since Frank Sinatra performed at the Superstar Theater. Now, the person singing the Frank Sinatra songs, his name is Michael Martocci or Martosi. I'm not sure which it is, but from what I understand, he's one of the best Frank Sinatra singers around. And this isn't going to be some guy with a microphone in his hand, leaning against a piano and a cocktail in his hand. This is a real full extravaganza, full-scale orchestra. I think there's 22 or 24 pieces of orchestra behind the guy. This is going to be a huge extravaganza. Obviously, there's a bar at the Superstar Theater, so sounds like something I would like to attend. Again, it's December 10th. I don't know with my real job, if I can schedule that or not. I believe it's a Saturday. It is a Saturday, so we'll see, but something I would like to see. What about you? Would you like to see a Frank Sinatra tribute? This is his 40-year anniversary, his last show at Resorts Hotel and Casino, and they are pulling out all the stops on this show, so something I would like to see. Let me know in the comments below if it's something you would be interested in. Now, the Showboat Hotel on the Atlantic City Boardwalk is pulling out all the stops this coming week, starting, I believe, Monday. And every day until Halloween, they have a different event every night, including a scary movie night, which they're going to show a scary movie in the Bourbon Ballroom, if that's something you might be interested in. That's free of charge, by the way. A lot of these things are going to be free, with the exception of two items. One is a pumpkin painting contest. You do have to pay a fee for that. That's going to be held out on the boardwalk. They're also going to have a haunted house attraction inside the Showboat, which is pretty scary to begin with, so I can imagine how scary this haunted house is going to be. And there is a charge for that as well. They're also having a costume contest one night. They're having a trick-or-treat scavenger hunt. Just something going on all week long, every night, something different. And I know next weekend they're having a big party with a DJ and everything. So I will be in town Halloween weekend. So I'm looking forward to visiting as many places as possible. If you guys see me there, just say, hey, Jeff. I can't stay too long, but just say, hey, Jeff from New York, how you doing? Love to talk to you guys. But again, I'm on a schedule, so I can't talk too long. But I'm looking forward to a Halloween weekend on the Atlantic City Boardwalk. Now, one of the most overlooked properties, as far as I'm concerned, on the Atlantic City Boardwalk is the Claridge. The Claridge Hotel doesn't have a casino, obviously. It used to, similar to the Showboat, but the Claridge, let's just say, is a little bit more classier, if you ask me. It's always had that 20s, roaring 20s theme. It still has it. It pulls it off perfectly. It's an older building, and it just shows its age very well. One of the attractions at the Claridge is the view bar on the rooftop, which offers 360-degree views of Atlantic City, not only the beach and the hotels and casinos, but the marina, which is on the other side of town. You can pretty much see everything from up there. One of my favorite places to hang out for a cocktail. Now, during the week, I came across this article about the view at Claridge, Rooftop Bar and Lounge. They named 5 things you should know about the view. Item number 1 is happy hour. There's a happy hour there every day from 12 to 6. That's right, I said 12 to 6. Their happy hour is 6 hours long. You can get like $5 glasses of wine, $2 Miller, is it Miller? Yeah, Miller draft beers. They have craft beers on tap for $4. Really good value. And again, the prices are on par with other happy hours, but don't forget you're getting a fantastic view. Number 2, entertainment is offered every weekend. On Thursdays they have karaoke, and on Fridays and Saturdays they have live DJs spinning music so you can enjoy your cocktails, music, and again, that view. Number 3 is free parking. Now, the parking isn't exactly free. It's really not free anywhere in Atlantic City unless you're comped or have a card or you're at a certain tier level. But the Claridge will give you free parking if you spend $75 at the View Rooftop Bar and Lounge. Now, $75 for me would be a lot of money because I'd probably be going there myself to do some recording. But if you go with, say, 4 friends, if you have a couple cocktails cocktails, you've immediately spent $75. So the parking is free as long as you spend $75 or more. Number 4 is you can hang out inside or outside at the View. For those of you who saw that Super Bowl video that I did, it was snowing out. It was the middle of, I don't know if it was the end of January or the beginning of February. I don't know when the Super Bowl was last year, or this year I should say. But in any event, it was snowing outside. Now I do have to say you can go outside and really enjoy the views. You can bring your cocktails out there, whatever, but they don't have furniture in the winter outside. So in the summer they have chaise lounges, they have tables and nice things like that. Perhaps in the future, a good idea for the View would to get some fire pits out there and just keep the furniture out there all year long. I don't mind the cold as long as, you know, there's furniture and stuff out there. But anyway, in any event, in horrible weather, you can still go up to the rooftop at the View, and they have beautiful windows surrounding you where you can catch those views in regardless of the weather. A 5th reason to visit the View Rooftop Bar and Lounge at the Claridge Hotel is their pub eats. They offer all different kinds of food, including their award-winning chicken wings, which I've had. They're very good. They offer up, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 different flavors, including sriracha and honey and buffalo and things like that. And they also offer, you know, standard pub food. They have nachos, they have peel and eat shrimp, they have artichoke dip with chips, and just, you know, light fare like that. Stuff you want to eat at a pub while enjoying a good beer or a cocktail. Well, not necessarily a news story, and I do want to make sure that you guys know that the View doesn't endorse me. They don't pay me to say this stuff. It's just a place that I like to visit, and I just wanted to share some reasons. I saw this article during the week and I thought I'd share it with you guys. Reasons to visit the View, and I think you should. Now, I came across another article this week, 5 places for spectacular cocktails in Atlantic City. The first one being at Bure. Bure is not on the Atlantic City Boardwalk. It's right off the Atlantic City Boardwalk in the Orange Loop. I spoke about Bure in my Orange Loop video. Now, Bure is serving up several different cocktails for the Halloween season, and I do need to read these cocktails from this list because I certainly can't memorize all the different cocktails at all the different places. But Bure is serving a apple cider margarita, which pairs mezcal and apple cider for a fun seasonal twist on the classic margarita. They also have Dat Pumpkin Rum, which is a house favorite, sort of like your favorite pumpkin pie mixed with a glass of dark rum and some maple syrup. Another crowd pleaser for the coffee and bourbon lovers is the cold brew bourbon, which is made with cold brew coffee, bourbon, and heavy cream, a perfect autumn beverage. And all those drinks are coming from Bure. Now, Bally's is serving up their own Halloween-inspired cocktails, including the Gravedigger, which features vanilla-infused brandy mixed with coffee liqueur, Cointreau, fresh brewed espresso, finished with a garnish of whipped cream and crushed Oreos to complete that full graveyard look, because that's what we're going after, right? A graveyard look. Bally's is also going to have the Devil's Margarita, which has Blanco tequila, their house sour mix, red wine, and a lime wheel to top it all off. Lime wheel, of course, not to be confused with lemon wheels, which is what is on that car that you drive. That's a lemon. The wine gives the drink a red tint, making it seem like you're really sipping the devil's blood. And really, don't we all wish we were sipping the devil's blood? And those looking for a rather straightforward cocktail with a little bit of Halloween festivity, you can order the candy corn martini, which is a simple drink made with vodka and candy corn. Whoopee! If you're visiting Bally's, you can get all these Halloween cocktails at either the Yard, the Carousel Bar, Jerry Longo's Meatballs and Martinis. All those videos are available here on the New York channel, as well as Guy Fieri's Chop House, which is always closed when I'm in town. Right now at Resorts Hotel and Casino on the Boardwalk is the Pink Pumpkin. It's at actually Bar 1, who's constantly doing all these pop-up themes at their bar and lounge. And it's during the month of October, it was the Pink Lounge. Everything was pink. It still is, as a matter of fact, for breast cancer awareness for October. But it's also Halloween, so they need to do some Halloween drinks as well. Right now they're calling the bar the Pink Pumpkin. And one of the drinks they're serving is the Mighty Pink Cocktail, which has Pink Whitney vodka, peach schnapps, and a splash of grenadine to make the drink aesthetically pleasing. Bar 1, also the Pink Pumpkin, which it's known as right now, is also serving up the Witch's Brew, which has Jägermeister, blue curacao, and a splash of cranberry juice. And they also have Goosebumps, which is made with creme de menthe, creme de coco, and cream to give you some serious chills. And finally, the Dracula, which starts with Amsterdam vodka and adds blood red cranberry juice and ginger ale to create a refreshing drink worthy of toasting a timeless vampire. Now, over at the Ocean Casino Resort, they have something called the Vampire Kiss, which is available at the lobby bar. And that has, let's see, American Harvest organic vodka, cranberry juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice, and grenadine, and they finish it off with a sugar rim. Now at Nola's at the Ocean Casino Resort, which I believe is celebrating their first year anniversary, they're serving up 2 Halloween drinks, including the, let's see, Friday the 13th, which contains a ominous mix of Patron Silver, muddled cucumber, poblano verde, lime juice, agave, and a cucumber dipped in tahine for a bit of a kick, and a chamois rim. Now, tahine I am familiar with. It's kind of like a chili lime seasoning. Chamois, I have no idea what that is. Please leave a comment in the comment section below if you know what a chamois is. Whatever chamois is, they're putting it around the rim of the drink. Nola's is also serving up the Spooky Marie, which features a edible hibiscus flower, Saint Germain, Chandon, and a grenadine rim for a sweet touch. All of these drinks sound really cool. They sound really expensive, but it's one of those Halloween season things. Some of them are actually going to good charities. I'm going to be in town in a few days. I'm going to check out a lot of these drinks. I will bring them to you either in the community room or in a future video. And finally this week we have some cruise news. First up in cruising, Royal Caribbean introduces the Icon of the Seas. Now, this ship isn't built yet, but they're showing artist renderings, and this thing is huge. I'm going to show several pictures here. It's just unbelievable the amount of stuff that's going to be on this ship. 7 pools, 1 for each day of the week. That's the way I look at it. There's over 40 restaurants, bars, and lounges. Crazy entertainment. The world's largest water park on the sea. There is just so much about this ship that is really going to be something to look forward to near the end of next year. I believe its first maiden voyage is in October of 2023. One of the things I noticed about this news release from Royal Caribbean is that they've been in business for 50 years, and during those 50 years, they've been getting all these ideas together for building a perfect ship for a family vacation. And when I say family, it's definitely a family ship. It's huge with all these attractions, and they say it took them 50 years to come up with all these cumulative ideas, and they've built the perfect family vacation cruise ship. Like I said, 7 pools. You just walk around this cruise ship, and it sounds like you'll find a pool at every turn that you make on here. Also, they're building day clubs with DJs and things like that. Crazy amount of stuff that they've thought of to go into this ship. They have pools and water areas for families with children under 6. Exclusively for children under 6, they have their own spot, and that's really cool. The Icon of the Seas will also have a swim-up bar, the first time ever on a cruise ship. There's something called the Aquadome, which is like a 3-story waterfall. I just can't wait to see all this stuff. I don't know where this ship is going to be sailing out of on its first few voyages. I don't know if it'll be on the West Coast, if it'll be on the East Coast, or if it'll be in the States at all. I'm not sure at this point. But I will definitely bring you guys updates on this wonderful ship that's coming from Royal Caribbean. The cruise industry is finally coming on strong after the pandemic, and the Caribbean, one of the more popular areas of cruising right now, has the island of St. Maarten, which is expecting over 1 million cruise passengers this year, the most ever recorded on that island. And of course, the island is thrilled about the fact that all these tourists will be coming to their paradise in the middle of the Caribbean during the year 2023. Lots of cruise lines enjoy docking at the island of St. Maarten as far as a port. port of call, if you will, because they have one of the best airports in the area as well. It's an international airport, so that's very important for cruisers as far as, you know, getting off the ship and getting to an airport. A lot of these smaller Caribbean islands have airports that might get you to Miami or that might get you to, you know, someplace else. But St. Maarten has a rather large airport, and the cruise ships like that because their international passengers can get off the ship and hop on an airline there. So St. Maarten is postured to be very popular. It is already, but an even more popular port for all these cruise ships cruising the Caribbean. And again, this year or this coming year, 2023, over 1 million cruise passengers. And now a tragic story from the cruise world. Last week over in Europe, a passenger fell from his 10th deck balcony on the Mein Schiff 3 down below to some lifeboats. He fell on the lifeboats and died from his injuries during the cruise. Now this happened at 2 a.m. The night before it was to pull into its home port in Turkey, and a medical crew of course showed up immediately to see if they could help the person, but he succumbed to his injuries right there on top of the lifeboat. One thing I do need to say about these medical crews aboard these cruise ships is they are prepared pretty much for anything. They have surgical rooms and emergency rooms and quarantine rooms, and I've seen the medical staff on my recent cruise, my first cruise actually, on the Norwegian Getaway, and there is a huge staff of people just to take care of medical issues. Obviously the best thing is, if it's a serious issue, is to get the person heliported to a land-based hospital or something like that. But if that's not possible, these cruise ships are capable of handling most emergencies, but this person obviously just succumbed to his injuries as soon as he fell. The investigation is still going forward. Lots is unknown about this right now. As far as the news article that I have, it doesn't even mention if it's a male or a female. I might have said man, but it doesn't say. They don't know if it's an accident, if it's suicide, maybe the person slipped. It did happen at 2 o'clock in the morning. Nothing good happens at 2 o'clock in the morning, if you ask me. Maybe the person was inebriated, I don't know. But lots more details to follow on this story. Finally this week, Princess Cruises announces their holiday food menus, including Thanksgiving dinner. The Princess Cruises fleet-wide main dining rooms will now host a range of new menu options, including a Thanksgiving feast featuring 5 entrees, meaningful foods of Hanukkah, delectable Christmas dishes from traditions around the world, and a New Year's gala menu. The holiday menus include a 4-course Thanksgiving menu, which includes a 5-entree option including caramelized sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and whole cranberry sauce. Along, of course, with the roasted turkey, there'll be apple sage dressing, giblet gravy, and additional vegetarian-friendly choices as well. New soup menu items include roasted pumpkin soup with a toasted almond oil and pumpkin seeds, as well as a chilled carrot dill soup with cranberry. To top it off, the dessert menus will include a pumpkin pie served with whipped cream, cinnamon apple pie a la mode, sugar-free strawberry Napoleon served with mascarpone cream, as well as a bourbon pecan pie a la mode. Now, I don't know about you, but personally I like to spend Thanksgiving at home with friends and family, but if I happen to be on the sea, which isn't a bad thing either, it sounds like Princess is the place to be with all these yummy goodies coming out for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, and the New Year Eve celebrations. By the way, just in case you didn't know, most cruise ships, regardless of what nationality you are, regardless of the nationality of the ship, or regardless of the location of the ship, they all celebrate the American Thanksgiving on November 24th. Just so you know. And that's it for this week's New York's Play and Vacay news show. I hope you enjoyed it. There'll be another news show probably a week from now. In the meantime, enjoy all the full videos, the new short videos. Check out the community room. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this show, and I will see you soon. Dear Lord, 34 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, comment, ask some questions, and most importantly, subscribe by clicking on the button on the left. You can visit all of my New York videos by clicking on the top right, Or check out my videos on other favorite places to visit by clicking on the bottom right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around the city.